Anti-vaxxers, also known as scum, are making another hoopla.
Sounds like a lot of
Hey there, gamers. If you enjoyed that terrible attempt at an accent, hit that subscribe button. It's your boy, Everlast. Go check out my other videos. We're just getting started. I hope you're doing good, though, today. But hey, welcome back to my channel. Feel free to check me out on my other social medias. I promise I'll start streaming soon enough. But on to today's video. I was scrolling on Twitter and seeing the hashtag do not comply, and you're going to be surprised. Well, not really. It's about anti vaxxers. Their purpose of being is none other than to ruin your day. Our first instance, we'll be looking at an article about those big hunks of metal propelled by human IQ and fuel. The Southwest Airlines canceled over 1,800 flights, and they blame the weather and staffing. I'm sure the weather played a big role.
Oh my God, stop your fucking lying.
If you haven't been living under a rock, you'll have noticed with COVID, companies and restaurants have started implementing vaccine mandates, requiring employees and patrons to have gotten their COVID-19 shots, or else you'll be treated like the disease-riddled rat you are and thrown to the side. If you know about the mandate, well, then you probably know that there's a group of people who are afflicted with main character syndrome. This lethal pathogen can be contracted through your nose and ears by direct contact with Facebook or Twitter. The airline's spokesperson made it seem like anti vaxxers weren't the cause of the mass cancellation. However, Twitter has a different take. You have idiots like this who feel as if the hand of God has touched them and the flights being canceled is a signals of revolution. In her tweet, she mentions being stuck in Dallas because of the cancellations and how it's a small price to pay for freedom. She lives in America, one of the most free places on earth, leading me to believe that she won't be satisfied until she faces off with Unchained. The amount of brainworms that can be found in these replies to this tweet is unfathomable. But let's just take a look at this one thread. Man, I can't believe there are people out there that think things like this. And they're allowed phones? Like, come on. 9 out of 10, there are going to be some religious nut who thinks that they could run the government better, which I admit definitely could be ran better, but not in the hands of these people. In another tweet, they treat anti-vaxxing like it's the stock exchange of freedom, asking people to hold the line. I don't understand the problem with them. They act like the government hasn't had to do this before. I guess the advancements of medical health and the internet has made everyone hyper aware by allowing them to carve their own channels of information, creating echo chambers that diverge from the truth. I'll play you this video and you just tell me what it sounds like.
I've been an airline pilot for 18 years and now I'm facing an ultimatum. Not a choice, but an ultimatum. I'm being told in order to continue my career as an airline pilot, I must be vaccinated, which really means I have to choose between putting food on the table for my family and my freedom of choice. Whether you believe in vaccination is the right thing to do or not, the situation goes far beyond health. We, the American people, have fought for freedom for 257 years. We go around the world spreading ideas of freedom and democracy. We help other countries and people fight for their freedoms, while ours are being stripped away.
All jokes aside, who is this guy? In the video, he seems to want you to bet on the future, making it seem as if your beliefs and intellect are going to dwindle over time. His approach is pretty manipulative. I don't know how taking a vaccine will somehow manage to turn into the government telling my grandchildren what they can do. But I guess that's the only approach you could take when you need like-minded people. People that take pride in thinking they think for themselves when their last original thought was the password they used to make their accounts. They think causing stuff like this is the means to a revolution.
I've been at the airport for 2 hours standing in line. Watch this.
Main character syndrome has no bounds, and it has affected the military. Since the pandemic has begun, about a quarter of the military has been affected with COVID, and more than 2,000 have died with COVID related symptoms. That's 2,000 people who aren't here to play back for blood. Military members are already on a 17 vaccine regimen required when they sign up, so it doesn't make any sense to be anti vax and to be in the military. They're just being willfully ignorant. But I guess that is their whole movement, right? One common point that I've seen in the past to disregard getting the vaccine, which I totally disagree with, but see the logic behind, is I see people like this saying COVID has the potential to only kill like 1% of the population, something like that, which if we're true, we live on planet with over 7 billion people. So that's a lot of people for only 1%. I could understand if we were cattle, but we're not. At least I'm not. You see, it's a lot easier to look at the numbers behind a screen and decide what's the best decision. But that's only because you won't realize the effects until it's too late, which is what happened to this conservative radio host. Allow me to read from the article. Farrell Dick, I mean, Dick Farrell,
Can't keep my dick in my pants.
died from severe COVID 19 damage after spending the last weeks of his life claiming that the vaccine was bogus bullshit and referring to the pandemic as a scamdemic, which were some very clever last words, but in case you forgot, Moneybag Joe said it's a bandemic. He goes on to talk about the Delta variant, calling it a hoax to keep people fearing for their lives. He made a Facebook post saying this: "Why take a vax promoted by the people who lied to you all along about the mask, where the virus came from, and the death toll?" He posted this on July 3rd, and he died on August 4th. A week later, on August 11th, Todd Tucker, pro-Trumper radio programmer, died from
Pneumonia.
which was caused from COVID-19. He also made a post on Facebook that went like this: "Please stop bragging that you got your COVID vaccine. What do you want us to say? Congratulations, lab rat?" You see, what these guys do, well, used to for these two, they harp on government control in order to capitalize on the fact that people want change, using it as a stepping stone to radicalize others. Then they spend their time regurgitating conspiracy theories to each other constantly, all while not citing any evidence. They get their highs from confirmation bias, which, if you didn't know, is when people only seek validation of the stuff they already know. They surround themselves with the same brainwashed people to stroke their ego. These people's brains would shatter if they tried to comprehend something other than what they already know. They know nothing and adamantly refuse to change. It is just ridiculous, but hey, if you liked today's video, drop a like and subscribe. Follow me on my other social medias. Feel free to tag me on interesting stuff in Twitter. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. But hey, I'll catch you on Twitch. It's been your boy, Everlast.